Yo, what's good with it, Pack family? This your boy, Mr. Check My Resume, here to bring you my top picks for the week of October the 17th. And we're going to get right into it and get back to getting this chicken. Y'all know how we do on a weekly basis. So the first ticker I want to talk about here is LLY. That is Eli Lilly. I'm looking at the healthcare sector on this one. Last week, I was thinking it might have been a little bearish, but it just held up. Buyers wouldn't let it drop below that trigger level. So it just stayed inside for another week. So this week, I'm actually a little bullish on it. So I'm looking for a double inside week break above 33.35.29 on LLY. That'll be a week level trigger. And I'm looking for that one to push up to retest those highs that we just came down from a couple weeks back. So looking at a potential target area of around 340-ish. I think it hit a high of 341.70. So we'll be looking in that range to see if it goes and retest that monthly broadening formation in that area. So the first one on my list is LLY out of the healthcare sector. So moving on, I want to talk about discretionaries. Next one is Penn Gaming. We've been shorting the crap out of DraftKings, DKNG. So we're looking at Penn Gaming right now for a short on a couple different trigger points. First off, we've got a 322 on the day, and that's below 27.99. And then we got a 212 on the week here below 27.36. So we got a couple different trigger points on Penn. So I'll be looking to take entry on that one. And then we've got some opportunity to take this one below the $24 level over time. So depending on if you want a short trade or a longer trade, obviously up to 322 entry on the day, we got potential magnitude right around 27 bucks for the shorter entry, but we also have the long potential as well for the longer trade potential here to take this one back down to that $25, $24 level on Penn Gaming. So the next one is Penn Gaming, PNN is the ticker on that one. So now I want to move over into the energy sector. First one I want to talk about is Devon, or Devon. His mama call him Devon, so I'm gonna call him Devon. So the ticker on that one is DVN, looking at energy to pull back this week. Kind of typical for the behavior as it typically does on the expiration week. So I'm looking at an inside week break here on Devon, below the level of 67.14 on the week. I'm looking to take this one back to the previous week's low potentially here at around 62.90 or 63 bucks. That'll be my target level for this one. And then I expect, kind of that same old ping pong, back and forth that energy's been doing here over the last period of time since the end of Q2. So DVN is one in the energy sector that I'm looking at. Another one also that I see that could be potentially very good for us, and that is MRO, that's Marathon Oil. Looking at a 212 to the downside on Marathon on the day, below $27. And then also on the week, we're looking at a 212 on the week below 26.56 on MRO. So you got a couple oil triggers right there that I know that I feel very strongly about will push down somewhat this week. So that'll be my expectation for energy. So to keep it going here, we're going to move into staples. And this is actually a long setup here, looking at CLX, Clorox. We call it bleach in the pack, but we're looking at a reversal potentially here on the week. We may get a 2-2 rev here above 131.90 on the week. So I'll be looking for that. And that would also give us continuation on the day here. So we'll see what happens. We had the outside day on Thursday. So we're kind of looking to see how price action behaves off of that outside day. But the week candle, the week setup looks very strong. We are sitting under a broadening formation at about 9 points out. So we'll be looking to see kind of how it does once it gets past that level, if it does trigger. So 131.90 is our trigger level on CLX. I'm looking to push this one maybe to the 140 level on a conservative thought process. If it gets above 140 and back into that trading range, then we could possibly move into like 160 overall or something, but not to get too ambitious. We are in a bear market, so don't want to get too ambitious with those targets, but definitely see a potential for 140 if it does trigger to the upside. So that is CLX. Moving on. Now we're going to get into communications. First one I want to talk about here is Snap. So on Snapchat, got a couple different triggers here that I'm looking at. First one is a 322 on the day here below $9.97. Second trigger I'm looking at is a 312 Chicago setup on the week, and that's below $9.63. And so on Snap, I see a potential for this one to keep pushing to the downside. We had last week's, 2 weeks ago, we had an outside week, and I'm looking for a trigger to break here and us possibly push down to like maybe the 850, 860 level. But we've got to get past these early levels. There's an early weekly broadening formation. So maybe we got to get below $9, 930 level. And then from there, I'm seeing 850, 860 as a potential for next broadening formation. So we'll see what happens here on Snap. Looks like there's been buyers in this price area. There's been a little bit of liquidation. So price hasn't shot up, but it hasn't fallen either. So it's just kind of been running flat. So that's Snap. I'm looking for this one to finally go ahead and push down here on the week time frame. Next, I want to get into the industrial sector and talk about airlines a little bit. There's a couple different ones that look really good for an upside move. First of which, and that is Save, Spirit Airlines. We're looking at a 2-2 rev here on the week above $19.87. This one looks very strong off of this 2-down week. And we have some levels in terms of macros and 50% levels that, some of these tickers have been testing. And so we'll see what happens with price and how it reacts from these levels. So Save is one. The airline sector, I think there's a few others within airlines that you could definitely take a look at, like LUV is another. I'll actually kind of talk about that one as well. But I think sector-wise, airlines, they are setting up for a potential move to the upside. So we'll see what happens. But LUV, Southwest Airlines, again, we have an inside week on this one. Looks like more of a Momo hammer, but we're looking at a 2-1-2 here above $33.31 on LUV. We'll be looking to push this one up just to blow on this weekly broadening formation it's been traveling with. So maybe about the $35.20 level is a level that I see on this broadening formation pattern. But this trade looks like it's just been following this weekly broadening formation. So if we do get the bullish continuation, then that'll be my target for this trade. But LUV as well as some others within the sector look very strong. So that'll be something to keep your eye on. Overall, I think we're pretty bearish. And if you want the rest of my watch list, please tap into the Alphapack trading group. Please like and subscribe. Take it easy, Pack. Catch y'all in the Discord. Peace.